Vocalina presents The Colorful Dalmatians, a magical legend that reveals how the Dalmatians were born, with black, green, and yellow spots that represent love, hope, and harmony. Once again, Gloria Baena creates a story filled with depth and sense of profound love, available for the whole family. The Colorful Dalmatians. The Colorful Dalmatians. Long ago, there was a beautiful beach where nature displayed its vibrant colors, with the blue of the sea and the green grass of the mountains that stretched across the island. Its inhabitants were fishermen, artisans, and farmers who deeply respected everything these beautiful lands provided, such as delicious fruit, fish, and landscapes. With a truly magical sun and moon, the animals were dearly loved by the residents, who always took care of their chickens, cows, horses, dogs, and among others. Each day was increasingly cherished by the people. In the community, there were elders who were very wise, respected, and admired by the entire population. Once a week, all the inhabitants of this magical place would gather on the beach around a bonfire. They would ask an elder questions, and he, from a place of love and his own experiences, would answer them. When it ended, there would be a moment of absolute silence, and everyone would meditate on their own, taking away the best and most important lessons from the great night around the bonfire on the beach under the full moon on the star-filled sky. Among the questions asked by the inhabitants of that wonderful island, there was one particularly intriguing one that from one of the children who was curious about how Dalmatian dogs were born with their distinctive black and white colors. The wise elder of that beautiful village told everyone a legend that had been passed down from generation to generation. All the inhabitants attentive to his voice, and gazed sat comfortably listening to the legend. Many years ago, long before any of us were born, they say there was a family of white dogs living on the mountains you see every day from our beaches. And on the beach lived some black dogs. They had never met or seen each other due to the great distance between their lands. One day, a white dog living on the mountains decided to come down to see the beach up close, and to his surprise, he saw the most beautiful female dog his eyes had ever seen. Her eyes shone like two stars, and her dark skin glistened like a panther in the night, with an oily and delicate sheen. The white dog was named Bob, and he greeted the black female dog, asking in a sweet voice for her name. According to the elder, the black dog shyly replied, "My name is Mia. It's a pleasure to meet you, and great pleasure to our meeting takes place on this beach full of shells, sea snails, and infinite grains of sand." "And where you live, is there no sand?" asked Mia. "No," replied Bob. "Where I live is very high up on the top of the mountains, where we only have green pastures, trees with different fruits and various flowers." Mia commented, "Wow, I imagine it is very beautiful and different from what we have here." Bob responded, "I realize that each part of nature is very different, unique, but beautiful. Both the green mountains and the gray beaches. Each color has its beautiful given by the contrast of the sunlight. White is as beautiful as black, red as beautiful as the yellow, and the colors together create different shades and the secondary colors." The wise elder recounted the story with such emotion that everyone was in deep silence, curious in their minds about the grand finale. He continued with his narration of the legend, and Bob, over time and through their encounters, fell in love with Mia, and she with him. They decided to get married, and soon Mia had her first puppy, inheriting the beauty of each of his parents and ancestors, creating a new breed of dog with two magical colors, black and white. The expressions of the inhabitants of that island were of admiration and joy. The elder continued to speak of the legend, and the night continued with a pleasant climate, the sound of the sea and the glow of the stars. And he said, Bob and Mia not only had their first puppy, Black and White, whom they named Dalmatian, but they also had more puppies, each born with different color spots. The second, white with green spots, whom they called Hope. The third, white with yellow spots, Harmony. The fourth, white with red spots, Happiness. That is what the legend says. That night, the bonfire ended in a round of applause in celebration. The end.
Each story brings new colors and friends. Subscribe to our channel and collect them all.